Just drinking some damn coffee. Yeah, I can do an almond break. Almond breaks are actually pretty easy. That's basically the main gist of it right there. Alright, with fast stuff, it's usually best to keep the snare velocity kind of lower. So that's like the main gist of the almond break, but then you can, you know. I really need hats in there to know for sure. Maybe we can add in a couple of extra ones sometimes. I started producing for the last 3 months. What are some piece of advice for beginners? If like your goal is just to get better at music production, just fucking look at all the tutorials you can and put them into practice. Whenever you're a beginner, like you don't even know what you don't know. It's a really cool time period. Like I miss when I didn't know a bunch of shit because I feel like I made more interesting stuff. So it's actually kind of a cool thing whenever you're at that level. Make all the fucking music you can and don't try to monetize too early, because that's where I fucked up a little bit. I was trying to make it a full-time income before I was even good. Make like 3 beats for every tutorial you watch. Like don't get too trapped in tutorial land, because the actual learning, the actual progress isn't going to come from you making stuff. The mindset shifts and stuff and the actual techniques might come from tutorials, but you actually making the music is what's going to make you better at making music. You got to do the thing to have the power type of thing. First beats are alive. When you do it for a while, it loses the magic. The magic does go away sometimes for me, but it always comes back. I have this alter ego named Hempseed Broomstick, who's like a mentally handicapped rapper. Whenever I'm feeling stuck and like music just isn't fun for me, I just like channel that ridiculous person and it just takes the pressure off. It gets you more in that alpha brain wave state. Not alpha like red pill, alpha wave, like brain wave, you know, like the creative flow. But yeah, I do like learning shit. I think that's a great way to keep it interesting. Carson type beat. Yeah, I mean, I could do some rage. We just need some trap drums. I'm gonna just use the Cymatics Cobra Pack, because why not? By the way, Murder Beats, he's got some great drums. I just like to do a 4 on the floor, open hi-hat, a kick and a snare. Okay, and then for the melody, I think just doing a 5th up, that's like the rage sound. Basically a power chord, something like really basic. It's good to have the mono and legato, you know, so you can get that like, maybe a little distortion. Maybe we can take the random phase down. I might add some noise to it also, just to give it a little extra. Now we need like a big bass. So let's just get like a loud ass 808 that makes the whole track clip a little bit. I'll just put a soft clipper on the 808. Well, now that we got a bass, maybe we can make this higher pitch. And then if you want to be extra, you know, you can add those like maybe a slide. You know, maybe we want to be extra today. And then let's make that main melody have some reverb on it. And one thing I learned with making rage stuff, copy the main melody thing you have, and then use another synth. Like it's good to have like a saw wave as your like chords, and then have a square wave type of sound for your lead. So then basically you just copy the same melody and then you paste it up one, and then you just turn it into an arpeggio and put it in the background, and then that kind of just, I don't know, it works. You gotta experiment. And maybe do like a phaser, just try out some weird shit, you know. And then if you want that 808 to hit a little harder in small speakers, you can just route to this track and make like a distortion layer for your bass. Add a bit crusher and then boost somewhere. It doesn't really matter where. Boosting at different frequencies is going to give you a different sound. And then just after all that effects, just high pass it. So that way you have more like, you have chaos, but it's still controlled, so it's still going to hit right. Alright, yeah, this one might need a little extra help, so let's give them some distortion. I recently tried to distort my kick by pushing it into the master limiter, but it overshadowed every other element. Yeah, man, funk is weird. I would first suggest getting like a funk kick. It depends on what type of sound you're going for. If you want it to be really loud without it ducking everything out, the only thing you have to do is just make sure there's a limiter on it. If you got a limiter on the master and then your kick isn't going above 0 dB, like you should be good no matter how hard you press it. You can make it louder by layering too. Like Umru's got some really good kicks like this. So just kind of like with the 808 actually. For my kick and snare, I usually just put them both in a bus and then put them through a soft clipper. First of all, just getting the punch of the kick, I like to scoop out mids, take out the high end and take out the low end. If I just want it to punch as hard as I can, just transient shapers. But as long as that limiter's on the kick, it's never going to go above 0 dB. So you can add whatever and it's not going to duck everything out. Let me see if there's some type of funk loop in here. Oh, that's a loop I made. Hell yeah. But then you can like clone that kick and then put it in a different mixer track. Sometimes I like to do like a stereo enhancer and make it like wide. And it's just the same thing with the 808. It's just like a lot of parallel processing, you know. You can just distort it, maybe even throw OTT on it. I just make sure you high pass it after everything. I don't know, man. You can be listen to anything. I used to love listening to Lamb of God when I was in high school. They would make me hear all the detail. Drinking with metal is a terrible combination for most folks, especially in the South. I got the logo from the glasses. These were the glasses for my alter ego, Hemp Seed Broomstick. And then I was just trying to build up my YouTube and I was like, I need some type of brand, something that makes me stick out. And I was like, well, I'll just use these, I guess. That's my favorite thing about the whole thing. It's kind of just like an inside joke with myself. It's like I'm Batman because like I'm seriously terrified of weed. Back when I was a lot younger, I used to like it, but something changed in my brain. And now anytime I've tried, it just fucking, I don't know, it scares me. It makes the demons come out. I gotta bounce. It's time for me to go to worky poos. I appreciate y'all for stopping by.